I guess I'll start by like introducing you guys. So like the podcast, we're in here with Blizzard. We got Cam or Camden. We got Donham and Insane. So I guess I don't know. I guess probably should have had you guys introduce yourselves, but I did it for you.
Yeah, it all works.
Yeah,
It's all
hell
the
yeah.
same.
I guess I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? Like, how long have you guys been playing Hunt? Like
Yeah.
individually. When did you guys start?
I mean, the easiest, like, for how we all started is Luke actually,
Yeah.
Insane, reached out to me. Um, we used to play Counter-Strike way back in the day, high school, middle school, 2015, 2016. And we hadn't talked for a while. Insane reached out to me because he saw that I owned Hunt Showdown.
That's right.
But-
Yeah, you had the game.
It was you, Marshall, and I. And that was the sort of the OG stack. This was like July, right after the Twitch drops, like July 2019. And the first set of Twitch drops with Billy Story. I fell in love with it. I thought this game was so sick.
We had so much fun. It was,
Yeah.
like, right before the quick swap update for like a time frame reference.
Well, it was definitely during.
But it was
You-
during
Yeah.
during QS, yeah.
Yeah, so when we learned about it and like started doing it actively, 3 weeks later was that patch where they took it out.
1.4,
Yeah, the patch that doomed how cool this game could have been.
Did you guys? You guys never got to experience the quick scoping, did you?
With the
Like-
scoping like accuracy, like if you didn't have irons, it was accurate immediately still.
Yeah, it was like full like black screen quick scoping.
That would have had to have been before we started
Yeah.
I
playing.
think that was
Oh,
before
man.
us.
You missed the golden age.
We were there for like learning quick swap was like it made me feel alive. Like I loved doing that. But
It was definitely broken, but it was a lot of fun.
oh yeah. It was so fun. But Don Ham, another friend of ours, doesn't really play the game nearly as much as we do. And I played it for I don't even know how long until we got Cam into it. I think we had like 900 hours or so, like a piece,
Yeah.
when we got Cam into it.
Yeah,
And from there,
19 KD Camden.
yeah, from there, Cam was a crackhead pissing off streamers from the get-go. And how long did you play Cam before the first tournament?
I have the video on my
Did you
YouTube.
even- Did you even have
Yes.
1,000 hours?
No,
I don't think
No.
so.
I had like 500. But I started. I have a video on my YouTube with when I had 89 hours in the game. I uploaded a video on February 14th of 2021. So that's kind of like a frame of reference of when I got into the game.
Mhm.
And I was kind of late to the party for our friend group, so
Yeah. Because it didn't like we didn't really get like very like super good at the game until that first tournament, and that was the Snowdown, I think.
That was the Snowdown show. That was
Snowdown? Yeah.
it's like a year and 6 months ago now. We placed second. We placed second against Eclipse, Liam, and Super. And
From
They-
there,
from there we just spoke to them. I started playing with them, started meeting more people,
yeah.
and that's how we know like half the people
Everyone,
that
like,
yeah, literally
majority.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that tournament. I didn't really get into tournaments until like I did like the Bayou Bowls a little bit, and then I did like a couple of the non-Bayou Bowls ones, and I was just like, I'm good.
They're definitely different from the Bayou Bowls. They're
Yeah.
more geared towards like the Super Sweat Lord playing the game competitively. That's we'll get into the competitive aspect of the game later, but
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a super shame, right? Because I don't know how you felt about it, but that's like playing Hunt Showdown just to win is fun, but playing Hunt Showdown to win quickly in a tournament setting in a small amount of time, that's where I really, really start to enjoy the game.
yeah.
I don't know, Fail, how you felt about it. I remember watching part of your VOD from the Bible. I think you uploaded a
Yeah, I have a YouTube video.
Yeah, and that looked like a lot of fun. It was a shame that we got in it so late because he had
Yeah,
stopped
we
doing
never
them.
got to do that.
Yeah. I
I
love
wish
Yeah.
we could have experienced the Bayou Bowl.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I love competing, but it gets to a point where I'm just like, I don't like the meta of like how people compete, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't enjoy running into nitros and abtos and dolces every game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I'm good.
It's unfortunate that that's where the game has come to.
Yeah.
It's truly no reason to run anything other than those two firearms.
Yeah, I think the first Bayou Bowl I played Mosin and Uppercut, and everyone else was running like Dolces and Nitros.
That's like we
Yeah.
always said, if we could do a big, like good tournament, just ban Nitro, ban Dolch, ban Avto.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much just turn it into a Mosin Upper tournament, and it would probably
So
be
much fun.
It would be so fun. You'd bring out who's really like genuinely good at the game.
Right.
But even when you start getting into like Mosin Upper territory, right? The sort of like meta that you have to go in for a tournament is like you have to win games quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mosin Upper is not always like it's kind of bad when you're like 3 feet away from someone, right? And they have
Yeah.
a shotgun.
Yeah.
So it's you really brings out a lot of skill. If you want to play the Mosin Upper, you have to be really confident in hitting headshots when you're in super close range, which is just more interesting than hip firing 10 bullets from your Dolch or spraying your Avto or nitroing someone from any range they render on your screen to kill them instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's that shit's just crazy.
So I get what is Scumge? Is it like, am I saying it right, by the way? Scumge?
Yep.
Am I
Yeah,
the only person
absolutely.
that says it
The
right?
few,
Yes.
the proud.
Okay,
Yes.
because I hear a lot of people say like, you know, some weird ass names. I'm like, how do you get it wrong?
add letters.
But Scumage, I say that one as a meme. But
Scrimmage.
yeah, so like,
Yes, people I don't know are like, where's the R coming from?
yeah.
What goes on?
So like, what is Scum? I mean, I'm assuming it's like a clan, I guess. But
I think the best person to explain this is Evan. So
Yeah.
Seven, yeah.
So I wouldn't really call it a clan. I'll get to that in a second. But how the original name came up is, you know, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I sort of invented it.
Not sort of. You just did.
I just straight up did. There's a game that probably nobody's going to watch the pod, and nobody in here except for us three are going to know, called Realm of the Mad God. It's basically like a bullet hell MMO that has permadeath. So whatever gear that you loot off these dungeon bosses and stuff, if it's on your character when you die, you lose it. That's kind of the crux of the game. And it's really intense. It's really, really fun. I didn't think I was going to like it when I first started playing. So I just typed some gibberish in for my name and named myself Scumge. And everyone would always laugh at the name. And we always thought it was a really good time. And when I ended up really enjoying the game, I just had to play as Scumge for the entirety of my time that I actually played
You
it.
pay $10 to change your name, so it's like you're not just gonna go change it. So
Yeah, I'm simply not going to do that.
the word was like Evan's kind of notorious for creating gibberish words on the fly, be it typed or just spoken. And this word was like so stupid, just made up nonsense. He would walk into these dungeons and literally just say his name. He just Scumge. Just walk in, type it, and it puts like a little text bubble above your head. And you'd be in these dungeons with like raid leaders in a giant Discord call where only the raid leader's talking, and they're like, "That's you, buddy."
Or when I died with my crown, just a really, really rare, really good item, and I died on the character that had it, and the raid leader just goes, "Oh no, Scumge!"
It's been mispronounced since day one.
Yeah, nobody. Well, it's not a word, to be fair, so I
That's
don't
true.
totally blame people. I've been known for my butchery of the English language, but that's basically how it came about. And on the topic of like it being a clan, when we started playing, we would run into like the MH people, the
Yeah.
YS people, the BB people, and
BB was still big.
yeah, and MH too. Like you never see either of those now.
Yeah.
But we basically were like, wouldn't it be funny if we just had like Scumge bracket in our names?
Right.
And that's basically how it started. And back then there were only 4 of us basically.
Yeah.
Now there's like maybe 10 people that run it. Tons of friends we play with. Not everyone plays with it. Our Discord's just kind of a group of friends. We don't like recruit. There's no like tier roles within the clan, you know. So I wouldn't.
AD separation.
Yeah,
And like, yeah, no hierarchy like that.
yeah. I wouldn't really call it a clan. I guess if your only metric is you have a identifier in brackets, then yeah, I guess sure we are a clan. But I think there's a lot more that goes into that than
Yeah.
just brackets in front of your names, because literally anyone can do that, and tons of people do. People we don't like, people we don't even know
Yeah.
who do it. So
There's plenty of people that put Scumge in front of their name. And it's like,
Right.
I've played with these people one time in my entire time on Hunt Showdown. Like,
I mean, see the other people that you run into in games that maybe don't like us, and they'll just do it. It's
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna like. What am I gonna do? Say take that out of your name? Like I don't
Yeah.
care.
They're just gonna say no. Like,
Yeah, that's why it's not really. You can't really say it's like a clan like that.
Yeah. So it's more of like a group of boys.
it's literally just
Yeah.
it started with the boys, and I mean, we gained some really good quality friends, and they ran it too.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah, people like like random people we met. I mean, I'll mention some names. People like Separum, Dirty South Carrier, Nitro, another one of their pals, who we like really like those guys. Like Annie Mouse, Brian Kenny, bunch of people like that. Just people that they don't run the tags, but we still play with them all the time because we really like they're really good friends that people just we really enjoy. It's not gonna be like BB where you join BB Discord, you play with a couple of the guys in there, and maybe some people you hate, but it's just part of the group, and we just want the group to be as big as possible. We've always been about keeping the group relatively small and tight knit. Everyone in there is really good pals with like 3 other people, and everyone, at the very least, can stand each other, right? So that's the kind of vibe we go for.
It's
Yeah.
like if you want to put the funny letters in front of your name, then you can. But we're not. It's not like anyone has to.
Yeah. It's not like you're
or
booted if you
anyone,
don't.
Like, needs to. Like it's just if you do, you do. If you don't, then you don't.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. I mean, I think if I'm missing anything, I think I kind of nailed the whole.
That's the
I think
majority.
that makes sense because I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's like it's a big ass clan that just is quote unquote toxic
easy.
and all that, but it's like, how do you regulate who's in that clan really? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
There
like,
was a time where there were a lot of people in the Discord.
Yeah.
A
At
lot of
one
people
point, it
running
was
the
pretty
tag.
big. We had like probably,
It's probably-
30 people running
That's probably-
tags.
Over last summer, right?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, there was a point where like
May,
my friends
June.
list, like my Steam friends list, was just a line of Scumge.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like 30 people at its peak
Yeah.
had Scumge in their name.
Discord was bumping like every weekend, just like 30 people playing in the Discord, and
But yeah. Like,
It's
and
not
again, it's like you didn't have to. They just did it.
Yeah.
It's not like,
people
hey,
just came
I mean,
to it, people gathered.
sometimes we'll say, I mean, as a joke, we'll be like, hey, yeah, you put Scumge in your name, like, well, we're all gonna play together. But it's not like we recruited them, and then I don't care if they don't run it and we play with them, or if they do. Again, it's like, it's not like an important thing.
so I guess, a big thing that everyone's gonna, if people watch this podcast, that is the accusations that you guys all have, as the Scumge. Yeah, like as Scumge in a whole is like, people say you guys like cheat or like, all this stuff under the sun. Is there like anything you guys like want to address, on that, or?
I mean, it's just a matter of, for some reason, some people just, I don't know if it's, usually when people call it cheats, and Evan's kind of got me to follow this mindset. When people call cheats, it's like their ego is too big to realize that some players are just better than you in
Right.
a video game. Like, Hunt's a really small community, and it's just one game that we decided to be really good at for whatever reason.
Right.
Like, I could go to CS right now, and I'm going to get the floor wiped with me,
Yeah.
like, almost every other game, because there's just people with more hours and they're just naturally better. It's just how it applies to us to Hunt. Like, in a game with as few people as there are, I mean, we all come from shooter backgrounds. At least, I don't know so much about Blizzard, but, like, Cam and Evan and I mean, we were the boys on CSGO. It's just, the people calling cheats is just, it's just odd.
It's Hunt's a lot of people's first-person shooters, right?
That too, yeah.
So, and it is a different kind of first-person shooter, but it really, every weapon one-shot headshots to like an absurd range. Like the worst one's like the Bornheim at like 68, which is like most engagements in the game. Yeah.
Is
You
it
didn't know
really
that?
68? That's
This
crazy.
is Charlie just 60, by the way. I
It's
just want
just
to say
60.
something about like, it's just so much like misconstrued information comes
Mhm.
around about Scumge. Like, there's so many things like people just make up shit about us to talk. It feels like there was a rumor going around that we coded a RAM eating program to make buildings de-render from like 60 meters so we could de-render people. Like,
think anyone in here's
How-
that smart. Like, no.
How absurd of like an accusation is that? And it's just like a big game of telephone. People are like, oh, like
That's the
one
biggest
person comes
thing.
up with one thing. Yeah, well, someone comes up
Yeah.
with something, and then they change it a
Mhm.
little, and it's in such a small community. Word of mouth is so powerful that
That's
it just
yeah,
taints
that's
Right.
your-
exactly what it is. It's
just taints
people
your
just
image.
hear things, and it's such a hive mind that to an extent, and it's so easy for rumors to get spread because people just believe it blindly.
I
No,
know.
it's-
So and so cheats, so they're just a cheater now, even if they don't even know the person. They'll see
Yeah.
them and like, oh yeah, this is the cheater, and then instantly like report it, and
Right.
which like I mean, if I get reported in a game, I don't really care. Obviously, it doesn't really ever come to anything, but it's just like it's so people don't even think sometimes. Like they'll see a name and instantly there's just like
They just
Yeah.
they
give up.
don't even care anymore because it's just like to them it's
Yeah.
just a cheater.
Right.
They don't try to use logic to figure out like what happened in the fight. Like the other day I shot someone like point blank through a hole in the wall and he was like, oh, he wallbanged me without even knowing I was there, and he just instant reported. Didn't look at kill view, didn't look at anything, didn't even think about like the fight. He just instantly just reported.
Yeah. I
it's
know
like,
I've
that
had
just
my
seems
fair
easy.
share of, people calling me a cheater and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you see
know,
it too.
I know
Happens
to
when you're
some
good at the
degree,
game.
right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know to some degree what you guys probably go through, and like people calling you guys cheaters and stuff. I'm always like, I don't ever see it, but maybe it's just like from my perspective as being someone who's like not been fully on your end of like the accusations, but
Yeah.
I've definitely been, people calling me a cheater and stuff. So every time I fight you guys, I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude! Like I'm actually gonna get some good players here,
Yeah.
and I always like, I might get like, I don't want to say like, I get like amped up if I die or something, and I'm like, fuck, But
Yeah.
I
Like,
love,
you're not like upset.
yeah, I'm not upset. I might sound upset in the moment, but like I'm not. I just love fighting good players, and
Yeah,
it's
I
so
mean,
much
I'd always
fun.
rather die to a good player than someone that accidentally kills me with like a worse player that just hits me by accident.
Yeah.
Or an aftermath. I'd always rather die to a good player.
I wonder
very
if
shot fans,
people
yeah.
get like upset because like I don't know, they just feel like it's unfair when they die, so like they get like just straight up headshot or like they get dolched down or something, and they're just like, this game sucks. That's
Yeah.
I'm assuming is what it
It's
is.
definitely punishing,
Yeah.
especially for newer players. Like when we die, it's more we don't because we know that we can have money and we know that we can play the next game. But for new players, it's you kind of always worried about money and always when you get those hunters built up and you lose them, it's definitely disheartening.
Yeah.
To kind of tie it back to like the accusations, like we've all been around like the cheating accusations, and they're genuinely or just generally like worthless because they report and it doesn't turn into anything.
Right.
But I've always been of the mindset of like, at least accuse me of something that I'm actually doing. Like,
Right.
we use reshade. That's obviously that's another topic of this. Like, if you're gonna accuse me of cheating, say something smart. Say, oh, he uses reshade. I mean, reshade's still. I mean, this is a whole nother debate, but like,
I mean, we can get into it.
it's like, at least say something that is correct. Oh, he's using reshade.
Right.
Whether it's an advantage or not, is
Yeah.
Yeah.
up for discussion. But I mean, the devs allow it. They've never overtly said you cannot use XYZ. So
Right.
take advantage of it. Obviously, third-party cheats are a whole nother
Yeah.
issue because it's just genuinely not allowed.
Yeah. So like you guys don't have a problem with like reshade. I mean, I know this obviously, but
No,
like
I think
I don't think
It's a
reshade's bad
buzzword.
either. Yeah.
it is.
I think it's. I
It truly
think
is a
people think
buzzword,
it
too.
does more than it does. Like, I've streamed with reshade on and streamed with it off, and like, yeah, you can tell a difference. But overall, it's not as much as I think people think. I think and I've seen people say like, oh, it gets rid of fog, and
He's
oh,
de-rendering
it does
with
this,
reshade.
and oh, he's de-rendering, or oh, it's
It's just
super bright
buzzwords.
at night. Like, it's just. I don't think they realize like what reshade actually does. And I think that's part of it. I think it's generally just like a misconception to some extent.
I don't like how people think they're on some kind of moral high ground for not using it too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's
like
another
I don't know.
part of it.
I don't think I can speak for all of us when we say like we'd rather not have it in the game. We'd rather have like in-game settings like Tarkov and
Yeah.
Tarkov effects
Yeah.
that allows us to do it without this, but allowing something that allows us to make the game even if slightly a bit easier or slightly more appealing than looking at the gray ass palette that Hunt
As I
Showdown
say,
has.
you cannot disagree with the fact that this game is incredibly washed out and gray. I've heard some people argue like, "Oh, it's the theme of the game, it's meant to be
immersive.
grayed out." But like, sorry, I
Immersive.
don't enjoy that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want there to be more color in the game.
Yeah, if people, I don't know, people just bitch about us using reshade as something to grab onto. Like,
Yeah, like I said, I think
it's available to
always a
everyone.
buzzword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's available to everyone. If they would address it and said it's not bannable, it's fine. The most recent tournament we played in, they didn't allow reshade. None of us ran it. And we still won most kills by 20 to the next closest team. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say 15, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, I hate how people are like, reshades, reshade makes you better. Like, the only reason you win that is because of reshade. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
I didn't use reshade for what, 3 years, and
I
like
didn't use it for a while either. Yeah.
I had
There's
like
plenty that don't.
I had like a 10 KD, and I mean, not that KDs matters, but I'm not the type of person who sits in a building with a sniper. I'm like the person that's up people's ass all day,
Yeah.
not using reshade. And it's like, like even like streamers have kind of gotten upset with me for using reshade, and it's like, dude, really? Like,
Yeah, I remember
you guys
when
know
you
who I
said
am. Like,
before.
you really think I need reshade to be better at this game?
Yeah.
It's not like install reshade, instantly become, you instantly gain 6 to your
Right.
exciting player stat. Like you don't just become god when you download reshade. It's
Yeah.
just it's a tool that's there, and I'm allowed to take advantage of it, so I'm going to.
Right.
Yeah. I definitely agree with the moral high ground thing. It's like weird how some people will say like, why do these guys feel the need to like sweat in this game and use like stuff like that? It's like I really say some people just want to win. Like some people are gonna play the game casually, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad at other people for wanting to try hard.
Yeah, that's what I've always said. That I was like, how can you be mad at someone for wanting to win? Like, that's the whole premise of a video game, is to win.
Yeah.
I think it's like a good time to transition into like high elo, and then
Yeah.
I was about to say that,
matchmaking
and how
system.
we play the game competitively.
That was I think this was just a really good place to
It's a good
pull away from
segue.
reshade.
I
and
just
go
say
into
that just right before
higher
we
mark.
do that, can we bring up crosshairs since it's kind of part of reshade?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Good point.
And the fact that
Faye, what do you think? Do you think that they're like fair? Yeah, crosshair overlay.
I mean, I think it's a little weird having it, just because it's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like, I don't even know what to say about it. I don't think it's a problem if people use it, because at the end of the day, your muscle memory is going to take over more than anything. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, I think I only
I
have
used
one
to be
thing
of the
say
same
about it.
mindset, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's I think the only time that it's beneficial is when you're like doing the quick scope with the nitro thing.
Yeah.
And
That's
any like people say it helps with target acquisition and stuff like that, but when you're ADS with anything that's not the nitro, like quick scoping with it, it's just like something else your brain has to think about.
Kind of in the way at times, yeah.
Yeah, very very seldomly am I like, oh, let me use the tip, like my crosshair reshade dot instead of using my iron sight. Like,
Yeah, because none of the iron sights are actually accurate.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Yep, here we go.
I think sometimes it's the only thing. I'm not gonna like deny that it doesn't help, and I think it's like silly when people try to say it doesn't. Like I think it does, but the biggest thing that I think it does help with is like knowing where you're gonna be aiming at, like when you
Crosshair
ADS.
placement.
Yeah, like if you're holding like a window or something, but you want to stay on ADS so you can see around you, you can like keep your crosshair around that. But like again, like you said, muscle memory and just the good players will know like where they look anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do that much.
I think the biggest thing for me was like crosshair placement. Like coming from Counter-Strike, aiming head level is just like one of the first things you learn.
Right.
But Hunt, for the longest time, like I'm staring at the floor just because you're
not used to it.
Yeah, you're aiming lower.
It's different.
That's-
You're
it's
you're
different.
naturally aiming lower. And whenever I started using the crosshair, I noticed myself like as I'm just like running around, like I'm aiming head level. It's crosshair placement, like you just said, aiming where you're going to be aiming.
Yeah, man, I hate the lower crosshair placement in this game. I'm always like,
so weird.
It's odd.
I want to hold
Going
head
back
level
and
because of
forth.
CS, and then I'm like looking at the sky constantly, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah.
it's rough.
It's crazy because we're so used to this game. Like you don't really even realize it. Or at least I don't even notice it until I
No.
go and play another game, and I'm like, wow, like this one's high.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm looking up.
So
I understand their reasoning for doing it. Like,
you don't understand, or you do?
or I do. It
Yeah.
helps like with the head glitching stuff, and
Apparently.
allegedly, yeah.
Which, to be honest, I don't
Oh, is that
feel
what
like.
they said?
Yeah, I don't feel like Hunt really has a head glitching issue.
I think that helps, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I
is-
mean every game is going to
Yeah.
but
It's not
yeah, I
COD bad.
think- Yeah,
Yeah, it's
not
not
shooting out of
Counter-Strike quality
your
bad.
forehead.
Yeah.
That's bad. Yeah, that sucks. but it's definitely strange. It was kind of a questionable, archaic decision that they've said we're kind of stuck with now. They have no
Yeah,
plans.
I mean, I think so too. You can't really change it.
So like, what's your guys' thoughts on like the whole like 6-star MMR, like I guess like MMR system in general, not just 6-star like gameplay, but the actual MMR system?
Anyone
It's-
talking about this?
I kind of do. It goes back to what you said, where you enjoy fighting better players. For people like you and us, the 6-star MMR, like the MMR system, is pretty much irrelevant, right?
Right.
Because you're gonna get placed. Most of our games are against 5 stars,
Yeah.
and 5-star is such a wide variance of skill
Yeah.
that we're almost always just better than.
Right.
So we're
Yeah.
still, a lot of our games are us just walking over people, and some games are a struggle. Some games you get jumped.
Yeah, I mean, shit happens.
Yeah.
It's not.
So easy in this
Everyone
game.
kills everyone in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in normal fights against most 5-stars, we're fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I get the pleasure of fighting against people on my friends list a lot more that I actually really enjoy. Now, there's aspects of Hunt, like the Abto and the Nitro, that make that a lot less enjoyable.
Mhm.
But generally speaking, I like getting into those fights. It's nice to fight a challenging opponent. Where I think it's really, really, really bad is for 5-stars. If you're just okay at the game's going to put you with other players that are just okay, but also with the players that are extremely good.
5 stars is too big.
Yeah, that's
I agree with that. I also think that the MMR system is good. It does its job better at the lower star M ranges. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
agree.
never been that low the star, so I can't speak on their behalf. But like, none of us queue skill based. I never queued skill based one time.
We physically
Because
can't.
We
won't
won't
get
find
games.
games. And like those people that are down there queuing skill based, even like you see like 4-star teams that are queuing skill based and get into games with us, and we're all 6-star. And then behind the star system, there's like an elo system with your MMR. And most of us float like 3100, 3200 MMR anyways, which is like the top 1% of the 1%, and we're still in their games. So
Right.
it just doesn't even matter. Like
Yeah.
I don't
And
think
it's not like
star system.
I understand their frustration too getting into our games, but it's something. One, it's not like we can do anything. But I do think that, like you said, at the bottom level, when I see like a 4-star stream or a 3-star stream, they usually get other like 3 and 4 stars, which is good. I mean, yeah, we'll get 3-star teams sometimes in our games, depending on time of day as well. Like if it's a
all about
lower
the player
time.
count.
But overall, I think the biggest problem is 5-star, because you have those 4 and 3-star players who have a good couple of games and they end up making it into 5-star. But then you have on the same elo at 5-star, you have people that like us that are 6-star. Maybe they have a couple bad games, but we're still like really good players. But we just go on like a losing streak, so we end up in the same games, and then they get shit on, and then they feel bad.
Yeah, and then they're pissed and they're like, "Why is Scumge
Why am I
sweating?
getting?
Mhm.
Yeah. Why am I getting games with 6-stars?
Why am
all
I
the
getting games with
time?
6-star when in reality there's not that many 6-stars
Yeah.
on the already small player base?
My thing about the whole MMR system, and it's probably just me, is like I'm a 6-star as a solo player, and it's like going against a full stack of 6-stars as
Yeah.
a solo is so
It's
ass.
It's unplayable.
it has destroyed
It's
ones into
unplayable.
threes. It's
Yes.
you can't do it anymore. You need an alt account to play ones into threes.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
it's totally unplayable.
and like I don't know if like my account's whacked out or something, but I play with like randoms sometimes, like 4-star randoms, and I'll still get 6-star games. I'm like,
Yeah, I
dude,
mean,
are
I
you
played-
kidding me?
I'll play with new people. I've had
Yeah.
like a new friend. I think our
Literal
first
1-star.
game, literal 1-star. They're playing with me and another 6-star friend, and we'll go against people that I normally play with or
Yeah.
go against. And like, they're not gonna have fun, but I don't know what to do. It's not like I can go to like a different playlist. I can make another account, and that'll work for what, a couple hours.
Well, yeah,
until I end up
yeah.
back at 6-star. Like,
That's another thing. Like I've tried to play with like other streamers, and like they've just like quit playing with me because they're like, dude, I can't play with this elo, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell them. You know, I'm like, I feel bad, but at the other hand, it's like I don't know what to do about it. You know.
it's hard
So
when you have this kind of skill base, but you don't have like a ranked and a unranked playlist, which I don't think they should do because the player base is too small. But it's
yeah,
that's what happens when you have skill based and a quote unquote casual playlist.
Yeah.
I missed the game when it had no MMR. I'm gonna be honest, but I was also just like seal clubbing people.
Too.
That's
Yeah.
exactly when Evan and I were first new to the game. Like if Marshall, or if he wasn't playing with us, there's like during arrows, and like quick swap,
Yeah,
we would
you
just
could still duo.
duo into trio, and we would still wipe lobbies. But
Yeah.
like you cannot do that anymore. Like
No.
we would, like Evan would be playing solo, and we'd be in like a trio, and we'd run into Evan. Like, and it's a normal occurrence for him to have been like killing a bunch of teams playing as a solo. But you just can't do that anymore because
Yeah.
of the Elo, because of MMR and stars.
Yeah.
Which is probably good for the game, so it's not like everyone's just
Yeah.
rolling the new players, but on the other hand, it's like for your
Yeah,
veterans, you're
I think
like,
so.
oh, I'm tired
Yeah,
of
but
playing
then
six
you have
star.
to go against the same group of people also on like certain periods of the day, which can get boring. But I do understand like why skill base is in the game.
Yeah.
It's hard to balance in
It's
a
so
game
hard,
with
yeah.
such a small player base.
Yeah.
It's not like Counter-Strike where you've got a million concurrent players and
Yeah.
100,000 people in every bracket.
And in Counter-Strike, as you improve, it's so much easier with like an actual demo system with
Yeah,
tons of content on how to improve.
resources. Yeah,
Like it was very easy to recognize your mistakes and improve. If
Yeah.
you get Mosin from an angle you didn't know about in Hunt Showdown, it's the one game you have to sit there 5 more minutes while they kill the rest of your team,
all you have is
and-
kill view. Like,
and you didn't learn anything.
Yeah,
Like that's terrible. For
People
new
always
players.
say like, oh, if we're going against better players is a learning experience. If I get 200 metered by a Mosin from somewhere I don't know, what am I learning?
Yeah.
Like I just die and I don't know what happened.
my
Gra-
mistake
yeah.
for running.
Grab a
That's
clue and you just die.
disheartening
You're
for
like,
a new
oh,
player.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess they have that like I think until you're level 10 you get to keep your hunters if you're a new player. but
11, but yeah.
It doesn't like really do anything.
So like, what's your guys' thoughts on like the direction of Hunt with like updates, things like that?
New skins, woo!
New skin.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
Yeah.
sick new
think-
skins, man.
Another hand crossbow skin. Let's go.
I think in terms of like the meta and where Hunt's going, I think Crytek's smart enough to know what issues there are in terms of like Avto being absolutely stupid, Nitro being absolutely stupid. I unfortunately don't think they know how or will do the right thing to fix
Right.
those just broken weapons.
I hope so, but I'm pretty okay with what's with the Dolch right now. I think a lot of people still complain about the
It's like
Dolch.
that. I think the Dolch change was great.
I think it was great. I think it was good.
When
I
you
think
look
the
at
officer
old
and other
clips-
guns are better
Yeah.
than the Dolch.
When you look at old Dolch clips, like that gun was
Yeah.
stupid.
It's still strong, obviously, but it's I don't think it's as annoying and oppressive as some people make it out to be. So.
Dolch used to be medium ammo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We never-
insane.
yeah. We never
Yeah,
played
that was
during that,
before
but I
all
know
the
that it was
times,
a thing,
but-
and that's just absolutely
That's
heinous.
heinous.
Yeah. It was awful.
A big part of it kind of relates to SBMM. Like, for the Dolce to get changed, everyone had to complain about it
Mhm.
Right.
That's what
Mhm.
happened.
ad
true.
nauseum. People who were not that good at the game, who couldn't always afford to bring in a Dolce, were getting shredded by people that were okay or very good at the game with a disgustingly broken weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tritech was like, no, it's only used in this percent of matches. And it's like, well, have you looked at,
Mhm.
yeah, 2% of matches. Well, have you looked at how often that 2% of people wins the game?
Yeah.
Like, it's, and now that it's separated, I remember seeing like memes on the Reddit, which is just a, you know, if you're a high elo player looking at the Reddit, it gives you a tumor. But I remember seeing memes of like people, it'd be like when you hear an Avto in your game, and it's like they all grab their like Springfield compacts and like ready to go get a free Avto.
Yeah.
And obviously, that gun is much different in your elo than it is in my elo. When I hear an Avto, I want to leave.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't want to fight the gun.
I'm gonna get headshot at 200 meters by some dude spamming E every time he shoots.
I'm saying, yeah, no drawback.
Yeah, it was like 4 a.m. the one night, and I'm running around with an Avto, and I see a fail spawner at a cart with a Labelle marksman. And he misses one shot, and I full spray him 90 meters.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Like
not.
the fact that you're allowed to do
Yeah,
that.
but then like people in low elo are gonna
Yeah,
be like,
but
I don't
that's the
see the
thing.
Avto ever. It's
Not a problem at their either.
Yeah.
But
Because
like,
they shoot the gun once and it goes to the ceiling and they're like, oh, this gun's ass.
Yeah.
The
But at
issue is
high elo, it's just during the event, I stopped playing because it was every game. I'm dying to
Yeah.
Avto
Yeah.
or Nitro.
yeah.
The only guns that were runnable during the event when everyone had infinite money, infinite slots, running grounded hunters, not losing it was Avto, Nitro, or Sniper. and playing 100 meters away. It's just rock, paper, scissors at that point of what gun
Yeah.
you decided to bring into the game.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Crytek decides to balance around like the middle tier elo instead of the higher elo, and like the higher elo is where issues arise. Like
Yeah.
good players are going to exploit those truly stupidly broken guns, and that's where the balance should be around. But
It's so hard to convince people of that.
this like the high skilled player base doesn't have like any representation, really, no voice.
And it's not as many people. So the people are always going to say, oh, you should bounce around the biggest group of players. But like, you would think that the higher tier players know better or know more like of what would be best for the game. I mean, that's what a lot of other games do when they have like pro scenes. They'll talk to like the pros and stuff like that. It's hard to balance around every like skill
Yeah.
level, but it's bad. It's really bad right now, and it has
Yeah.
been for months.
Yeah, you can definitely see issues just arise like none other in high tier or high start, whatever it's called, elo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
It's funny how it happens too. Like you don't really think about like when the Sparks pistol got added. I don't think anyone thought about
No.
aftermath.
Aftermath,
Like
yeah.
I didn't. I don't think anyone realized like.
Everyone's
what
like,
that
oh,
was
that's
like
such a
on.
cool thing. And then they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
wait a
Sparks
second.
pistol,
It was like, oh my god, it's
Go
just
And then
back.
the first person put them on and was like, wait, this gives me 18 bullets back from an ammo box, and I get this much ammo.
I
Yeah.
don't have to empty uppercuts and let the entire server know that I haven't had
Yeah.
time anymore. Like,
Yep.
It's
And-
cheaper than uppercuts. It's better than uppercuts. It's just
'cause it's crazy that like the aftermath's always acted the same way for majority of the time. Granted, it was way different in the beta when it was 2-round burst, different sight. But for the last year before the
3
Sparks
years or
pistol,
something.
the
Oh, the
Avto was before Sparks pistol. It was the same gun. It's
Yeah,
just
the after hasn't been changed.
just Sparks pistol just completely made that gun
Viable, yeah.
overused. Yeah, viable.
Yeah.
What I worry about now, though, right, is I'm worried they're going to think the problem is double Sparks pistol, which I don't think that's entirely the issue now.
No.
I remember back with Counter-Strike, there's, some people are going to understand this reference, but there's like, on both sides, CT&T, there's like a cheaper rifle, like the AK and the M4, and there was a slightly more expensive scoped rifle. Pros, good players, never bought that more expensive
I
rifle
remember. Yeah.
because they didn't really see a whole point in it, because the old meta was you would always buy like the mid-tier costed rifle, like your AK and M4. They lowered the price down to be equal across the board with all those rifles, so more pros started picking these rifles and realized, oh my god, this gun's been broken
Krieg meta.
ever since it had existed. We just never used it. Then they reverted the change, and still they kept running these
still
more
used it,
expensive
yeah.
scoped rifles, and
Yeah.
they had to nerf it. So I'm worried that, that's like CSGO. CSGO, when there's a problem, they get updates very frequently. They patch very aggressively after their initial updates.
R8.
Is the R8? Yeah.
The R8, dude.
Patch in a day. Like
That-
I was
that
grinding
gun-
global when they added the R8, and I was just like, dude, I
R8.
can't play this. I'm just getting one tapped.
This shit was
I'm getting
disgusting.
nitroed. Oh my god.
really. But I'm worried it's going to be the same thing, and I'm worried with
Yeah.
Hunt Showdown's like update rate. It's going to take them months to address the abdomen. They're going to address it by making it so you can't dual wield Sparks pistols or something like that, and the gun's still going to be disgustingly broken. People are just
Yeah.
going to buy do-uppers.
and that
Yeah.
and it inadvertently hurts other loadouts. Like
Yeah.
Crag double Sparks
Crag
pistol
double
is a
Sparks pistol.
really fun loadout.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make it so you can't 3-slot and then 2-slot double Sparks pistols, suddenly I can't run Crag double Sparks pistol.
I don't know why they don't just make Abtomat special ammo.
Yes.
It's-
Yes. Yeah.
We've been over this 1,000 times.
But then I guess you
Yes.
could do it with the Dolch, but I'm pretty sure they are able to like separate them.
No, but because the crossbow and Dolch don't stack, those are both.
Yeah,
special
exactly,
ammo. I
that's
don't
what I'm
think it's,
saying. Yeah.
it's just weird because there's a million fixes to the gun.
And
And
any
it
of them
goes-
would be good.
Goes to nitro too. Like there's a million ways to fix
Yeah.
powerful weapons.
Oh my god, shredder ammo. Shredder.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's absurd.
I can't believe they
there's
saw.
a reason why I run the gun so much. Like,
I can't believe. I still don't understand. They saw what it was doing, and instead of doing anything, they just changed the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. And I'm so, like, they didn't even in the patch notes. They didn't even say, "Oh yeah, we doubled the kill range for Shredder." By the way,
Yeah.
like I'm certain it was an accident, and they're just
Getting
insistent
90
that it's
meter
not an
body
accident.
shots.
I should
That's-
not be able to 76 meter body shot.
Yes.
Yeah,
Back in
just-
like
It's
2018, back in like 2018, the Nitro used to one shot just normal Nitro at like I think it was like 80 meters or something, 60 meters, just
Yeah.
normal Nitro. and I was like, this thing is dumb.
Yeah, that-
And you didn't
not
have
fair.
the blur around the aperture sight.
Oh Jesus
Wow.
Christ!
Really?
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I didn't know that either. That's the thing is like these guns have always been the nitro's always been bad. Even without shredder ammo, the gun's still broken.
Mm-hmm.
The aftermath, even without sparks pistols, it's still busted.
Yep.
He's just highlighted it, and it's now people are realizing it. So now like it's just become so popular. Yeah, that's why I also don't think that removing sparks pistol duel is gonna change anything. Because again, they're just gonna go to double uppers for Obras.
Yeah, Avto, I'm scared they're gonna try. They're gonna like not think about the Avto nerf, and they're gonna go to Reddit, and someone's gonna be like, "You should lower the fire rate or touch the fire rate," and they're gonna touch the fire rate, and they're gonna either lower it and make it easier to recoil control at long distance, or they're gonna buff it and be like, "Oh, if you make it shoot faster, it's harder to recoil control."
We get
That
SMG.
just gets
Yeah,
better.
and now I'm
Like,
getting fucking MP5 from 100 meters away by like something that should be fucking tripod mounted, and like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Something that wasn't actually invented ever in real life, but the thing it was based off
Here
of
we
is not
go.
invented
Here
until
we go.
20
Here
years
we go.
later. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And that all being said, if we're talking about hunt meta, right? Those two guns in particular are broken. I still think the Bilge Precision needs a little bit more done to it. It's still a little strong. And like
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
think it's so.
those two guns are the main problem though. But
Those P's definitely.
when people talk about like the long ammo meta,
Yeah.
yeah.
I-
yeah.
We're doing this.
I definitely think that it is not as bad as it used to be.
It's a scapegoat.
Mm, yeah.
It really is. It really is a scapegoat. Without quick swap, the Sparks Upper and Mosin Upper, Label Upper loadouts don't have a good close range kill you quickly tool. At that, like in a compound, it's about the same as your compact ammo and your medium ammo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really only good when you're sitting super far away, being a boring ass loser. Which is not everyone that uses it, but some people do.
I mean, we talked about this the other day. How when the effective range got increased to 330 or I think it's 300 without Spitzer,
Mhm.
and they later up the Winnie, the 150. There's so many ammo types now that are so good. It's not
Yeah.
like Winnie can one shot at 150. That's crazy. How many gunfights are you taking that are over that range really in the first place?
It's
Very rarely any.
Not
I was
that
gonna
many.
say yeah, before you mentioned anything about the Winnie, I was gonna say that like the Winnie is just better at like anything that's like fucking 60 or under. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even
It's still Mosin
even
velocity.
double plus that, like 120 plus, it's still a viable. You're not like you're never
Yeah.
shooting at someone with a Winnie and be like, oh, this is a bad fight. Like you're still in lethal range of him. Yeah, you
Yeah.
might tag him in the body and heal him, but if you headshot him, he dies.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not
It's never
taking a
bad
Winnie.
fight.
You're not taking a Winnie to triple body tap someone unless you're, a terrible player who's just banking on levering.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
People
Iron
talk
Repeater,
about long
HV,
ammo.
like yeah.
People talk
So
about
many
long ammo.
complaints are about long ammo, but everything that feels like a problem right now is the spamming. Which is
Spamming,
all from
yep.
compact.
Yeah, like I would
Levering,
rather
goalies,
if
fanning.
every person in the lobby had Mosin Upper, I would have so much more
so
fun
much fun.
than I'm stepping on someone with slate slugs and 4 flashbangs,
Mhm.
and then they're fucking bitching about long ammo. Oh, he shot me twice in the body from 30 meters and I died. Your slugs could
Yeah.
have done that, man. Especially
do
when you throw
like-
4 lightning bolts at me. Like,
I do like the slug change that happened most recently with the long barrel versus short barrel shotguns because slugs were terrible, and I feel like they didn't get enough recognition for how good they are and still are inside a
Yeah, I'm fine with where slugs are at now. I think
they're much
they're-
better, but they're still really good. Like you
They're-
just
no,
have a
that's the thing, they're
nitro
still
inside
very
20
good.
meters. Like
Yeah, I've never understood the whole like long ammo like meta argument. It's like the whole game's premise is to shove you inside of a building.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Exactly.
like what do you mean?
all
Yeah.
these people sitting, the distances where long ammo is like objectively better, you fight like once a month, if that. And if you play like it bounty and leave, you never fight it. And long ammo you can like run away from. Like you don't have to engage a lot of the time too.
Yeah.
Or you can just bunker down and force people to come push you.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to push out long ammo people than it is for long ammo
To push in.
than it is to for like if I get close and I realize you have a shotgun, it's impossible for me to get away.
Right.
But
You're
if I'm
already dead.
engaging you with long ammo at 100 meters, you have all the opportunity to escape that fight.
Yeah.
It's unless you're in the middle of the field. And
Yeah.
Middle
all right,
of
Dingus, you
Lions
shouldn't have been there
Swamp.
anyway. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
It's-
that just
positioning.
comes down to map knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And my biggest thing with when Mosen Upper was the best thing in the game, right, is that especially now with the Winnie buffs, the medium ammo buffs for the headshot range, you can compete with the guy who's playing Mosen Upper, and to a certain extent the guy with Mosen Dolch. But if you're fighting a Nitro or an Auto in the ranges where they're good, there's your only counterplay is headshot them with your first bullet or you just die.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
At least the Mosen guy still has to headshot you.
Mm-hmm.
So
it comes to why we generally play like Mosen Upper. Like we like the precision, those 80-meter headshots where like you're actually taking your time to aim. You're not just, granted, like I definitely hypocritical of me. You're not like CS:GO opping someone in the body. It's coming from a guy who almost mains Nitro, but like you enjoy those precision headshots with something that takes time to fire. It's not like because Winnie's good, right? Like you can go for the one click, the head clicker, right? Iron repeater, but you're still shooting that gun really fast. Like it's still really spammy.
Yeah, I mean, all of us also like all P100. We all have thousands of hours. There's not that many things to play for anymore in terms of like progress, besides seeing our KD go up or our kills count go up.
Yeah.
But good fights and just satisfying headshots with Mosen are like what I look forward to the most. Is like headshotting people with Mosen and having those fun gunfights. I don't really get a lot of satisfaction of running at someone, flashing them twice, and then shotgunning them in the side.
Yeah.
Admitting Mosen is your favorite gun is like admitting you like sex vanilla with the lights on with the woman you love. But it's like, it's it's my favorite gun, man. Like, it's pretty white bread and vanilla, but I like it. I like the way it plays. I like that I'm at a disadvantage when I have to go push a boss layer, but if I headshot people, I can outplay someone in close range. I have the pen to like do crazy wall bangs. I like the way the gun plays versus a lot of other guns.
Yeah.
Except for like the Lamat Carbon. I fucking love that gun now. That gun's so sick. But it's that's basically my stance on the long ammo meta. I don't think it's it's not as broken as Shredder and Apto ever were. And exactly, it's not how everyone makes it out.
Much better things to complain about.
I want to say that it used to be like when medium ammo was bad, like before the special ammos came out, really, and like before the good special ammo came out, like medium ammo was at just a straight up disadvantage.
Yeah, it was
but
bad.
Now that they added good medium ammo variants, they have Centennial FMJ, fantastic weapon, great gun, fantastic Spitfire, better than the Dolch like not P, Dolch P, in almost every situation. Vetterli FMJ or Vetterli high velocity with a silencer, great. Like there's no reason to bitch about long ammo being strong when everything is just as strong and there's things that are blatantly overpowered.
The only thing the Centennial doesn't do that the Mosen does is one-shot someone down to 25. Otherwise, it's basically the same gun.
Yeah.
And you can put FMJ on it with a muzzle velocity hit.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing I see a lot of complaints about too is the two-tapping the long ammo. You're just dead, or if I'm down a bar, I can't fight against long ammo. But in reality, a lot of guns now can one-shot you down a bar. Or if you're down to 50, like every gun in the game, I feel like can one-shot you at close range. And if you're down like a 25, I think can Centennial FMJ down you if you're down to 25?
No, it's damage.
No, it doesn't increase the damage. It's just the fall off.
Just the fall off. Okay, well either way, I think it still is. FMJ can still two-tap you, and it can still. Yeah. I don't. There's especially with the distance changes in the first place. Like the Winnie from 150 and all that. I think it's
crazy to me that like back like when the game first came out, every gun in the game could basically headshot you across the map, even Winnie. So like I would like shoot people from like pitching into Blanchett, like in the head, just across the map people, and then they like nerfed it down to like what was it, like 90 meters or something.
Yeah.
And then they buffed it again. It's like I don't know. You've been playing the game long enough, you just see everything go up and down in different like nerfs and buffs. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the way everything's changed.
Yeah, like people bitch about it and then they nerf it and then people bitch and they buff it, and it's just like it's always a game.
Yeah. It's just a constant.
Yeah.
Which is, to an extent, it's nice. Like, as long as you don't land on something disgustingly broken, I think more change, even if the change is not excellent, is good. The game doesn't. They don't shake up all the old stuff all that much. They add new things, which are interesting, but I think if I could invoke like one wish for Crytek, it's like change things a little bit more aggressively and really shake the game up. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But
So
oh,
I think we could do it more frequently too. You know, like pull a CS:GO, change something. If you fuck it up and make it stupid for a day, just fix it right away instead
Yeah.
of leaving it broken for months.
that's what I've always said is just like put it on test server, like
Yeah.
just throw it on
they
test for a couple days.
they have this tool. They use it sometimes, but not all the time, which is strange.
Yeah, who knows? Could maybe be more complicated than that. I'm not a game dev.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm also speaking from the position of not a game dev, so
Yeah.
maybe I'm. That's a good point. I might not understand the whole issue, but
So with that, like, well, I guess yeah, like the Lamap bug, like what you know, what I mean, like
That's
apparently
yeah.
they couldn't just take the gun out, which
Mhm.
is what they said, and I mean, I guess I can believe them, but like there must be some spaghetti code going on if they couldn't just take the gun out for a day
Yeah.
Yeah.
or whatever it was, a couple
With
months.
all these big exploits like Lamat, Ladder, and they've addressed de-rendering some, but like
Dude,
these are like game-breaking issues, and it takes them weeks to solve them.
dude, the de-rendering's gotten worse.
I mean, so the thing is, de-rendering has gotten better in terms of like the long-range scope de-rendering.
Oh yeah, true.
What's gotten worse
Is
is
the
the fact
graphics?
that I run up to Arden Parish from
Yeah.
Windy Run,
Yeah,
60 meters away, and I'm on low object settings, and the entire first floor is gone.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on with the game that allows that to happen, but it's stupid. It's
Yeah.
the most recent every update it changes.
It was
It
whenever
does.
they changed the object quality
Mhm.
setting is when that messed up.
Yeah.
And when they tried to fix it, their initial fix made it so that players were just invisible on low objects from more than 80 meters,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not a super common engagement distance, but if you're getting shot at from 80 meters and you can't see the guy that's shooting at you, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You just die.
I'm amazed there's no like level of detail thing. Like if you guys played PUBG back in the day when you drop in and the game hasn't fully loaded yet and all the buildings are Play-Doh,
Yeah.
it looks ugly as sin, but it's better than the building not
there.
being there.
Yeah.
There's something there.
My walls are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely gotten better in some ways, like you said, with the long range like scope. A lot of buildings do load in, but it's just weird how when you're not scoped and when you're just running up to a building, that thing just won't load. And it's weird because it seems like they just can't do it everywhere because some compounds that used to be bad are fixed, other ones aren't. It's like they don't have like a way to
Yeah.
consistently make it work everywhere.
Yeah, I feel so bad when I'm running around. I'm like, dude, I see a dude in that building and there's no building.
Yeah, like, am I
I
supposed to
remember
not
the-
shoot at him? Like,
Yeah.
What do I do?
The first day I put on low object quality, I was at like Windy, like running up that north road, and I see a team like inside of Salters. I'm just like, dude, like this is just broken.
Yeah,
Like, gives you so much info.
Yeah. I see
That's the
people
thing,
from
'cause
so
then
far.
That kind of ties back into like the cheating thing, and then the people
Mhm.
say like what, and like the accusations too, with like de-rendering and everything. It's like at what point am I not allowed to shoot?
Yeah.
Like it's not. You don't even have to intentionally do it. It happens. I've done it accidentally so many times. You'll like shoot someone, and you walk up, and it's like, wait, there's a wall there.
Yeah. I know, like, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Turn your graphics settings up? It's like, dude,
It's-
I
it's
barely
not-
get 100 FPS on low.
This game,
Say
we
it.
all know that this game, like, Kendall, you have what, like a 3090 and a 5950X.
Yeah, and I get like
and you
130.
Struggle for frame. Like, it should not be that hard to run. Like, you're
Yeah.
sacrificing a lot of frame rate to crank the settings because this game really doesn't look terrible on like max settings. So
Mm-mm.
if you want to play the game, the whole like when the like big YouTubers do the whole no HUD
Yeah.
ultra graphics, like the game doesn't look terrible. The
Mm-mm.
sound design and the game design looks good, but to play the game competitively and to try to win, it's like any other shooter. You drop your settings, and unfortunately, it opens up the.
Yeah,
low
I'm not
object
gonna
quality
play at
issue.
80 FPS just because they don't want to have walls loaded in.
Yeah.
It's not my responsibility.
It's annoying that a game that came out in 2018, which is the same year that I built my computer and spent a lot of money on it, it's annoying that that game, and still today, is a game that made me had to turn my monitor refresh rate from 144 to 120 just so I can more consistently get the max frame rate. That's absurd. And you know, I have to play on medium because I don't want to see people through walls. It's like
It's annoying sometimes too, because like you'll shoot and then you realize that you can't shoot them, and you either A, give away your position when you don't want to, or you realize you can't shoot them, and then they get scared that you're de-rendering them, so they just sit and park and they don't move. And so it's actually like it's a curse sometimes too. People think, oh, you know, they're there and they'll through the walls. Like, it's not always a good thing. I don't want to be able to basically wall hack running up to a compound.
So like with that, I guess, what are some things you guys would like to see added to Hunt? Like content wise or just anything really?
I think new boss.
New boss.
Yeah.
There's like speculation of a new boss. I think that's always interesting.
Any new content's good content,
map.
I think.
True.
Yeah, the new maps would work. New guns. New guns is so much like infinite content. Like so much can be added with a gun because you add.
Crag is dope.
Yeah.
Crag is fucking awesome. Like,
The Matt
so
Carbine
fun.
pretty dope.
I will say
It's hard to
though,
do.
no new
do.
guns, but please to God stop with the 9,000 variants.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It's really hard to add new guns without just giving every gun 16 variants. Like, we just got a Centennial Trauma. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, what is that? Like,
The only thing
I
that gun
don't care.
does for me is lowers the handling. Like, if I want to run Centennial, I'm just running the base Centennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, things like Crag's sick.
Yeah.
Like,
and the Mac Carbine's really fun. The Martini Fridge. I
the
fucking
Fridge.
love the Fridge Teeny, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's low-key pretty good too.
Yeah, it's like not horrendous. It's like it's amazing that that's all it took to make the Martini like playable.
Yeah.
I
And
think with the rate that they push out content / events, like, they're not doing a bad thing. I like that they've changed up the events because the first few were kind of Groundhog Day, you know? It's like, here's a long bar, collect XYZ, fill it up, get your skins.
Yeah.
I like that this last one.
This one was
granted,
definitely very
Granted, I
unique.
hated Fire Map, but it was cool to have something different. And, you know, the perk changes.
Yeah, I
It's-
really liked. Sorry.
It's cool. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. I really liked the idea of the snake event, where if you looted people, you stole
Yeah.
their coins.
I agree.
Loved.
Yes.
It's something for the first time
Entice
in the game's
PvP.
history that incentivizes us to PvP and not just run from each other. And I think something that incentivizes PvP is healthy for the game, and I think that would just be a great addition. And then
I don't-
right there with you. Yeah.
It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know what the fix is. I wish I could tell you what to change because there's a lot of ways to do it, but something to lessen people wanting to run away with a bounty. Like,
yeah,
I hate if I fight a team in one corner of the map and I, single bounty, boss on the other corner of the map, they pick up the bounty and they just head for the hills as soon as we're getting near them. Like,
yeah.
and they don't fight a single team. I don't know.
I think something that would help with like the incentivizing of PvP is reworking extracts in some way.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you could take there's so many things you could do. You could take extracts and shove them to the end of the map, so there's not a boat where you can crouch behind that's bulletproof. I don't know. I think
Get rid of cooking.
Something like
Yeah,
cooking
get rid of
could
cooking.
go. Something like the extract zone itself could be like just on the boat. Like you have to be on the boat, but the block radius could be like 50 meters. You know.
Yeah.
Like, something that stops these people from running. It's just I know that that's not something they would ever do because that's like they say like someone recently, a streamer dev was like, some people enjoyed the thrill of being chased, which is like you play the game how you want, you know. But
Yeah.
I think anything that incentivizes PvP would be a good addition.
It's like, if you run soon enough, you just get away. Like, there's nothing to be done. And you can go in, kill a boss, fight 0 people out of the other 9 on the server, and I mean, you've technically won. You know, you got
It's
out
so
alive
easy.
with the bounty, but
Yeah.
like, that's just
so easy to run
incredibly
away.
boring to people like us.
It's so easy for that third person off scan to just cook the extract, the other 2 run over with bounty. You think you're able to catch them, and they just instantly leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think oh, you can go.
Go ahead. Okay.
Nope.
I just wanted to say, in terms of like new stuff, I think something that they could add is there's so many great community ideas and public ideas of like new perks that they could add that would be like, even if it's just like a quality of life boost, it would be interesting to add like a perk that lets you see bodies or something. Would just be like something niche and cool. But there's so
Give me
many like
Shadow for
creative
12
ideas
points.
that they could come to if they would just look at what the community has to
Serpent
say.
looting.
Yeah,
Give me
there's
Shadow
so
for
many
12
like
points.
there's so many creative people that can come up with these things, like perk ideas. And even they even provide like the perk art for you. You know what I mean? Like you have to do nothing but implement it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the lack of new content is. It feels like people are just gonna let the game die. You know.
I feel like
We're
for
just gonna continue to
bounty,
wait for a map.
yeah, I feel like for bounty they should just remove double bounties entirely, and
Yep.
then they should remove
Mhm.
extracts on the map until you've banished the boss. And then
Yes, I
That
agree
would
with
be
that.
Yeah.
you
crazy. That's
shouldn't be
very
able to
smart.
you shouldn't be able to find the boss until you've found 3 clues.
Like
I
it
think I
doesn't spawn
actually
in,
like
so you
that
grab
too.
3. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
And then like at that point, I feel like you've had enough time to get in your fights and whatnot. And if someone
Yeah.
has banished by then, I mean, you're talking like what 10 minutes into a match that banish
Yeah.
starts probably. I mean, average.
Yeah.
And then you should have plenty of time to get to the boss and then pick up the bounty and kill them and get the bounty. And then obviously the extracts could still be on the map. They would just not show up until you've picked up the bounty. So that way you had like, oh, I want to leave. Well, you better go fucking start looking.
I
Yeah.
always hate with it's like
Yeah, I
the,
like
the
that.
cypress, like the cypress extract, like the boat there in the
Oh my
corner.
gosh.
There's like
There's a big
200
mound.
meters of map behind the boat. Like,
Yeah.
like just it's like Cam said, just
All right,
throw the
remove-
extract on the world border.
My
Like,
stump.
Remove all extracts. Whenever the boss is banished or the entire server is dead, the hot air balloon comes in and gets you.
Yeah.
so I don't have to run from I don't have to
Fortnite
run from
bus.
Goddard to fucking
Oh my god. Like
Wolf's
the
Head
cross map
or
extracts whenever
Hemlock.
the cross map extracts are obnoxious whenever the server's dead. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, let me waste 15 more minutes of my time
Running.
after this team just routed me for 10 minutes inside.
Like I'm in a
you know?
trio and I counted 9 bodies. I should not have to run 1,500 meters to extract.
That's like an us
It
issue.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
My biggest thing for like quality of life is like I think looting right now, and like that whole thing is so bad.
Give me money every loot.
I think you're basically punished right now for winning fights and for fighting people because of you always have to loot consumables back first, and you always have to like traps if you bring them, med kits. Which yeah, I want med kits back sometimes, but nades. You can kill 9 people and use your nades the whole time, and you won't get any money because you used all your meds, you used all your nades.
Yeah.
Why do I need to be looting nades back when I just won the server?
Right.
I don't need nades. Give me money. Like I think you should get money with every loot, and I think how like you loot should just be changed. And I also know the game used to be duos
I was
only.
about to say that.
But like a lot of the things are 2, like med kits and loot boxes and looting. I just why not just make it 3? Like, what does that really change?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they said it was probably like a game spaghetti code issue with like
Yeah.
the ammo boxes all being 2. I don't know.
That's crazy.
They told us something. I don't remember what it was.
I shouldn't need to have one person have vulture just to like play the game basically.
Yeah.
Just to make it affordable to fight people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The money issue thing too, right? I almost wish there was no economy in the game. I want like because that would incentivize people not to run. They'd play the game to fight people. But
Yeah.
I guess you have to apply some value to the bounty, right? So
Yeah.
it's a hard thing to do. But
It's just because people
It's-
like us at our level, money is truly no issue. It's no object.
Yeah.
Granted, there when we prestiged, there might have been a few prestiges where we were broke, but broke to us is like I have 4K.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple
That's
times
true.
you know, I was in double digits, but like I'm
I
still
was
gonna get
thinking-
out of it. But like low level people, like they're gonna have issues with money. But for me,
Yeah.
it's just like I hit P100, I hit 200K, I never have to worry about money again.
Yeah. Speaking of like the
Still like getting it
P100,
though.
on the topic of like adding new content in P100, like I think I know it's like a really small population size, but like the new content, like prestige wise or something that incentivizes the people that are like end game, quote unquote, you know, to play the game. Because like I've
is it to
said it,
play
what is the
for?
purpose for me to play the game right now? I can run around with an Avto and grind my KD or a Nitro, but I'm not getting anything out of it. You know, that's why I've mostly stopped playing. Is just nothing for me to do. And they could do like a simple fix, like 50 more prestigious, but I don't know.
No.
It feels like God.
No,
No.
more.
I mean, even if it's just a number going up, like other games have that, where like once you
Yes.
pass like the hard or the soft cap, you can just keep going infinitely. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting idea. Yeah.
it's like a mastery level, I
Like
guess.
Yeah.
They know, like the bloodline still increases. You get money for every
Yeah.
what is it, like $200 for every 5,000
Yeah.
XP.
Yeah. So
Like
let
they
me
still
be like.
have that infinite movement of the bloodline rank. It's just
Mhm.
it does nothing but give me literally it gives me 2 flash bombs. Like
Yeah, it's
Just
so
resets.
nice.
there's just nothing to do for these people that are P100. Like KD is an irrelevant stat because you can just grind it like sniping or something. You know what I mean? It's boring to care about KD that way, but and there's no reason to like push Shift W anyone because you're just gonna lose. And it's just there's nothing to get out of it. It seems like they need to add something for the people that are at the end game to do. You know?
I would love. We've talked about this before. I would love like a stats page, a monthly resetting leaderboard. So not a permanent leaderboard, but like, hey, for this month, these kind of accolades. I went back and started playing Battlefield 1 recently because it's like the Battlefield game that I loved. And in 2016, this game had a third-party website that showed you here's how many kills you have with all these guns.
That
Here,
is a
here's your 80.
dream.
Here's your like your average score per round,
Headshot.
headshot percentage, shit like that. That like
I would love that. I would love to know how many Mosin kills I have and how many like ult kill whatever.
Give me
That
a-
would be perfect.
Post game like heat map or a track like a review system, honestly.
Mhm.
But
even that event,
hard
the
to
snake
implement.
event, the snake event that had a leaderboard for how many event points you got.
yeah,
Yeah.
That was cool to watch. I liked seeing where my friends were on that and watching that change.
Yeah.
And that was
How many-
a cool temporary leaderboard. Stuff like that would be neat.
Do you know how many old players came back for that? And they were like, gosh, this is something to do again. Like, it's so
Yeah.
fun. And they came
Mhm.
back, and it was just great. It gives people something to work for. And with global leaderboard gone, it's just like, I
I'm
don't know.
fine
It probably
with-
helps. It probably helps
Yeah.
the lower elo people that got pissed that they were getting KD farmed and sniped. But I don't know. I think like a friends leaderboard. You know what I
I
mean?
think
Like,
Friends
I
Leaderboard
wish
should be
Friends
back.
still
Friends.
existed.
like friends leaderboard is all I ever cared about. You know what I mean? Like a friendly competition between your pals. Like obviously no one cares about if some random sniper on the leaderboard with an 80 KD, you know, other than him
Yeah.
and like his circle jerk of friends. But it's just like seeing your friends' kills, even like take away KD stat and seeing your friends' kills rise. Like, hey man, you're close to 40k kills. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know, like that's just an interesting thing to see.
I can't check Evan's kills unless I ask him or I'm in a lobby with him. Like,
Yeah. It would
It's-
definitely be cool to have Friends Leaderboard back.
When we took everyone in the Discord, we had that data dump with everyone.
Yeah.
And we calculated out people's kills per hour. Like, so we had them post their hours in Hunt Showdown. Obviously, there's a little bit of inaccuracy because of idle hours and shit like that, how much you play quick play or whatever. But that was a really cool thing to see. That was a really
Mhm.
interesting statistic that I thought, like, wow, this is interesting. I wish we had more stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, kind of like got us to see like more accurately. I think that more accurately determines what I would consider skill rather than like KD.
I always,
Anything
yeah,
like that.
I always thought they should have a headshot ratio.
yeah.
That'd be
That's
so
what we
cool
should
to
be
see,
cool.
man.
Mine's
Yeah.
0, man. I've throwing for too long.
Me too, man.
Abto and Nitro for this long, my headshot ratio is shit water.
I mean, just say if you have
70%,
if you have too many assists, that's you don't headshot enough. Yep.
yeah, that's
True, yeah. That's your check. Too many
Yeah.
assists, and get the headshot ratio up,
It's me.
bucko.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I've been thinking about what they should have added to the game for 5 fucking years, and
Mhm.
I'm always,
Yeah.
I always thought they should add like a, kind of like a, it would be like kind of like an assassin like creature that would roam the map, but he would only target
Mhm.
PvP
Roaming
players.
boss.
He'd only
Roaming
target
boss.
PvP players. So like, say a team had killed like the whole fucking lobby, that like mob then is like super aggro on those
Make
people.
it challenging too.
Yeah, it would be like a hard boss.
Make it something I can't sticky bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I can't just
Or one cycle with an axe.
I just jam a stamina shot into my arm,
Yeah,
grab an axe, and I just kill the boss for free. Like
yeah.
If
Give
I
it a
win a
cool
fight and
reward,
get
make
third
it-
party
make
by
it
the
hard.
roaming boss, I'm pissed. Like, come on,
That is,
like,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
no, make it spawn after server's dead. Like
that'd be interesting. Like,
I
if
think
everyone
put a
dies,
big
it
banner
spawns
top
like
of
a
the
roaming
screen,
boss.
like such
Yeah.
and such has spawned.
like a
Call it
reward,
claim
I
the
guess.
reward. Yeah.
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 I think
Make
it
a big
should
money
be.
reward or something.
I like the idea of single bounty only. The only thing is if some like rat nerd team gets the lair first and I fight, and then maybe I die, have no way to get my bar back. And I think right now there should be another way to get your bar back besides banishing.
That's
'Cause again, that punishes PvP players.
Yeah.
Well, the data leak said that they were trying a shot that was
I
like
saw
gives you your
that.
bar back.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a neat consume.
I really
That's a
like
cool
that. I
plan.
just don't know how accurate that is, but I do really like that shot idea.
Taking into the game is kind of like planning for failure, but like, you know, you're probably at some point gonna die.
Yeah.
In a
Oh yeah. I mean, you play
even
like
if you're good. Yeah,
Unless you just
But-
randomly get out of a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that would be nice. That'd be cool fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still rather find a flashbang.
Yeah,
But-
true.
Have
Free
we tried
kills.
Flashbangs yet?
Dude,
No.
we can.
Yeah, let's,
What
Can
is
we
there to
shift to
say? Like,
this?
get them out.
Fucking hate
Back to
flashbangs,
this,
dude.
man.
that
Long ammo complainers, streamers.
You hear
that I
that,
will not
like,
name.
you hear
I
that
hate
wind
long
up?
ammo. Fucking here's my flashbang and my slugs. Like, dude.
three
There's no better than
flashbangs, and a gun that fires faster than I can conceivably click, and it's like, all right, dude.
I hear the flash
Flashbangs
wind
and a
up,
melee tool, baby.
and I stand
Yeah,
still.
baby.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
You
You
just
hear that like
lose,
wind
but-
up sound, and you just park. You
Your
can't fight
your
back.
your outplay is to either is to flash them back,
Flash them back. Yeah.
and then you huck your fucking flashbangs at each other, and then the fight just gets delayed by 3 seconds. Or
Fight.
you don't have a flashbang. He flashes you, and you lose the game because you had the audacity to come close to this guy.
Yeah.
And I abuse the shit out of him too, but they're fucking
Positioning is
broken.
really.
It's a meme within us. Like anytime, like two groups of our friends are playing, we'll be like average Scumge fight. Like a couple weeks ago, we fought like Dirty South and Carrier, and
The six?
the flashes thrown stat
there was
was just
6.
through the roof. I think there was 6 in maybe like a minute
Yeah.
of a
Just
fight.
winding back and forth.
It wouldn't be so bad if you
Blind
just
one,
turn
blind
from
one.
him.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
blind.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
just
Yeah.
turn it. Like
Yeah. But it's so bad.
I don't think it would make it that bad either, because you would still have to know where it was gonna land.
Yeah.
let me get like deafened. I don't know. Make me be able to turn it so that I can still see.
That
But if
would
it
be
hits near enough to
interesting.
me, like leave the deafening thing, because I mean that makes sense.
'Cause then you don't know if they're pushing you or not. That would actually be
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
But let me be able to see.
Yeah, getting flash, like the flash hits 30 meters to my right and I'm full white for 3 seconds. I'm just, it's just so unfun,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's another thing that they know is an issue because they knew about like the full flash hit marker issue. Like they see that these things are powerful, but they just don't change them in the way that they should.
I wonder if they have the analytics to see like
Probably not.
how we're bringing in like X amount of flashbangs per game.
I would
and,
love
like,
to see that. Like show me the flashes used in 6-star elo versus 3-star elo. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be vastly different.
If it's, I think the only fix I can think, because I think they've mentioned that it's really not in the technology to allow you to turn it. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I can't turn it. I make it more like a dynamite where it does more damage the closer you are. It flashes you more the closer you are to it.
Yeah.
It does.
Introduces. Well,
Not
I
length.
don't think it
He doesn't-
does.
I don't think he means length of time. I think he means like how much you can see.
Oh,
If a flash hits my feet, I'm full white. If a flash hits 10 meters from me,
right. Yeah.
throw a white
Yeah, yeah.
filter over my screen.
That makes sense.
Transparent.
I might be wrong, but I think the only variance in how long you're flashed is if you either get that half flash where it's split second, or you get full 3 seconds. I think. I might be
I
wrong.
only thought there was 2 options as
It
well.
does feel like that.
But
Yeah.
it could be varied, but again, there's not much like distance usually, so it might be like
Because kind of when the half flash hit marker was still in the game, there was a level of inconsistency in like if I flash someone, if I swing this corner, I don't necessarily know that they're full flashed.
Right.
So it's
Should
a
be that like. Give me
it's
one
not
hit
like a
marker for all
checkmate.
flashes. Yeah.
yeah.
when you flash someone in Counter-Strike, there's a distance check for how much it flashes you. If a flashbang blows up in your face, like it's all you can see, then you're full flash for 2.5 or whatever it is in Counter-Strike. But there's a level of inconsistency there so that they're not like disgustingly
Yeah.
free, you know? I think something like that in Hunt would be interesting. Or make it like a Tarkov flash where it like puts splotches on your screen. It's hard to see, but not
You
impossible.
can see.
Yeah.
I actually really like the deafening idea. If it made it blinded you for like maybe like a second or 1.5 seconds, so like cut the time in half, but make it so that it's deafened the whole time too, so you can't hear if you're being like sprinted out or if they're going behind you.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna add stun grenades.
But you still
Yeah.
have out.
Oh yeah, I can't.
No.
Hey,
No.
puts my
The
can't
game already makes me slow enough, man. I don't want more slow.
turns my sensitivity down to 1/20th of my already disgustingly low sense.
Yeah.
Makes it so I move at crouch walk speed. Yeah, fuck that.
Here's a question for you, since you've played for exponentially longer than any of us. Do you think that it's negatively impact the game of them legitimately just slowing it down with like, multiple crouching or multiple jumping? You just jump twice and you have cinder blocks tied to your feet versus before you could just like you're in the Corvette just sprinting around everything, jumping through everything. You think that changes the game?
I think it's definitely changed the game, and I don't think it's changed it for the better. It's definitely made PvP like it's lowered the skill ceiling, maybe would be the word for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like I have a clip of me AD strafing while sprinting,
Yeah.
and I was
Oh my
like,
God.
"Oh my god!"
Wow, I could do that. Before.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you could jump infinitely,
yeah.
or you could jump
Or
off
jumping
of
through water.
you could jump off of Blanchett Tower and take no fall damage.
From the lantern thing.
No, you just took no fall
No,
damage
just-
back in the day.
There was
Really?
damage in,
Yeah.
like, old hunt. Yeah.
Oh man, I want to play Old Hunt.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
But yeah, I think nerfing movement's bad, but obviously like the sprinting side to side AD strafe was absolute AIDS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
Because
It
like
kind of lowers your ability for precision. It's a lot
Yeah.
of guesswork then.
you couldn't headshot
things-
anybody.
No. The things that I hate are the whole like, because in our like MMR, you've got to be like just
Oh.
moving, jumping
Hello.
around. I don't know what happened. You got to be like, jumping around, crouching, moving your head so you don't get your head ripped off.
Yeah.
You jump and crouch too fast in quick succession. Like congratulations, you have cinder
Right.
blocks on your feet for 4 seconds now.
Yeah. Yeah, I
They
don't.
continuously patch out the cool jumps too.
Oh, I hate that, man. So many
Yeah,
cool
it's-
like map movements and like just peak spots get nerfed out, cracks out of walls get patched. It's like, man, you're just
Yeah.
removing skill ceiling.
Literally, you're removing map knowledge stuff.
Yeah.
I get you have to gear it towards new players, but this is stuff that veteran players are really excited to use and really like using. It's annoying.
I think his internet went out. He'll probably be back shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But it's better. I mean, I used to play the game when it had like when I was doing my Prestige 50 grind, it had like 500 players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
They're
guess
doing
it's
something right, yeah.
yeah. I don't
I
know.
want to. Oh, he's back.
It's interesting you bring that up too, because like it's during an event it's like 30,000-ish players, like approaching 40.
Yeah.
And like normal gameplay it's like between 10 and 15,000. So the game's definitely improved. And I continuously see these gaming outlets publish articles like how like Hunt Showdown's like one of the most unique FPSs you're not playing, right?
Yeah.
And I totally agree. This Battlefield 1 almost scratches the itch of these old like historic firearms. The setting is so cool. If you ever like read any of the lore stuff, I don't know if that's like interesting to any of you. I've read a little bit of it. It's really like metal. It's really cool. It's really creative people came to put this game together in every aspect. I would always hear jokes about like Call of Duty Civil War. This game's only like 30 years post Civil War, and the gameplay's really interesting. There's really cool guns in the game. No other game I've ever played where the Mosin is the most modern firearm that exists.
Right.
That's super interesting to me, and they're obviously taking it in a good direction because more people are playing. It's just a little bit of a shame that the things that I really fell in love with when the game started are really starting to like go by the wayside.
Yeah.
I'm sure other veteran players feel the same.
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't even feel like I'm playing the same game that I played 5 years ago. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years of game development, you're probably not, but I don't even think it's close at this point.
Yeah, like the game that all the people that we started watching played is a totally different game from what we started playing and are playing now. That's
If I can, I want to shift gears because this is like a hot topic recently, and it's kind of something I really want to talk about because of how common it's been recently. But but kind of goes way back to like, the whole accusations thing.
Yeah.
I want to talk about all the stream sniping accusations towards Scumge and our friend group, and just how really like the state of the game, not the state of the game, but just the fact that the game has a low player count, I feel like bleeds into this issue of people thinking we're stream sniping. Like, it's not uncommon to run into the same person, the same team several times in a night. There was a time where we ran into a streamer like 7 times in one day across all of our teams, and it was like bad. Like, the dude was very upset, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I just dislike all of the... I don't care if you call me a cheater. I don't care if you yell at me for using reshade or whatever. I don't like false accusations and people taking things and running with it.
Yeah.
To these like super extreme
Especially,
saying, I'm changing my name to run and stream snipe you. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you are not worth... Half the streamers in this game, all of them really, are not worth my time of day to try and Q snipe and then stream snipe. Like, it's not worth... what do I have to gain? I can play the game. Sorry, I want to finish this, Cam.
No, you're good.
I can play the game normally and farm reactions from streamers just by playing if I want to.
Right.
I have nothing to gain from going out and intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about these people with these big platforms say one thing and it's just everyone jumps in.
That's the biggest issue.
So we had an issue where like one of the biggest streamers accused us of stream sniping before one of the big tournaments, and we almost weren't allowed to play in it because he just said some fucking words, and it just completely ruined our rep for like no hard evidence at all. He's like, oh, he ran into us back-to-back games and he killed me.
That's all it takes, and that's the
we
problem.
all know that, like, let's say like if our team and your team fail, you know, we fight at an extract, right?
Yeah.
You have bounty and we don't. We chase you to the extract and we fight and you kill us and then you extract. We're both in the lobby at like the same exact time.
Yeah.
If you're right
the
next
same
to the
era,
extract.
we're both on the same server.
Like, there's
Not
so
hard.
many times where we'll kill a team near extract. Next game, it's like, we're probably in their game again. It just happens. Like, we're gonna queue at the same time. You're not gonna get instant games all the time. Like, you're going to see that a lot.
Yeah.
And that situation happened to us, and that's what Cam had brought up. Like,
Right.
it's like their ego is too big. It goes back to ego, I think. Their ego is so big that they see us a few times, and they kill us sometimes. Sometimes we kill them, but they just think that we're stream sniping for whatever reason.
I do want to say that like it's not all. It is like a majority of the big streamers though.
Yeah.
But there has been one streamer where he said something on stream about Kendall and one of our other friends in Luke, and he like made a big thing about it and like got all riled up. But after the stream ended, he reached out. He's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry that happened. I was acting out of emotion. Blah blah blah."
Yeah,
So
that was actually really cool to see.
I don't want to say that like all the big streamers have this crazy ego, but like the people that know they have a platform and they're like, I have X amount of people at my disposal who I can send on a fucking pitchfork riot.
That's
to
the
these
thing.
people. I'm doing it, and it's just
They know they have this platform, and they know people will listen to them. There are hundreds of
it's just
viewers and other streamers, and then it compounds, and it's exponential the amount of people that just listen to this random thing this guy said just because he's a popular streamer.
Right.
There's been a lot of times where, like, we call Evan like our ambassador because Evan doesn't lay on the VoIP key like I do, and not much of a shit talker. Evan's a lot less confrontational than someone like me, but we'll have these interactions with these streamers, and then Evan will go into their chat and talk to them, and a lot of them will come around. Oh, you guys actually, you guys aren't that bad. Like, you guys are genuine people. It's not like you're this evil boogeyman that's in Hunt Showdown.
Well, I
Once
think,
you
yeah, I
once
think that's the big reason why I really wanted to sit down and do this, because I've never had like bad interactions with, I don't think, anyone in Scumge. Like BB and like MH, that's a different story, but like I've never had any issues with Scumge. Like, you guys have kicked my ass sometimes, and that's tilted me. But I mean, I'm a competitive person, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's like, you know, they stream snipe, they cheat, and you know, I know like obviously some people have been banned for abusing some bugs, but
yeah.
I mean, those are just, I mean, I've almost been banned for doing that, so
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to deny that. I just wanted to say, does anyone have anything else to add? Because I think I have a good thing to finish this off with.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that, like, if the people that just say shit about us, it's so frustrating. Like, if you're going to talk about anything at all about us, you could talk about use of previous exploits and shit talking in game. But I want to say that, like, you can be pissed that we shit talk you in game, but, like, you can never say, like, oh, these guys are racist, these guys are bigoted in any ways. Like, never once has anyone said anything that's not in game. Like, you suck, like XYZ, you know.
We keep
Whereas
everything in game.
Everything we've ever said shit talk wise is in, like, strictly in game. Like, there's been drama with other groups, like insulting popular streamers, like IRL issues they have going on.
Right.
We have not let out like a public statement, but I've said to like everyone in the Discord, I was like, if any of you guys said that, like even like close guys, I would kick you like right away.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just fucking gross to like take shit IRL. And even like I hate when things come IRL out of the game. But I think that's important to add that like it's fine if you like get mad that we shit talk, but saying all this other shit like oh Scumge is cheating and Scumge is racist, like you're just talking.
False accusations are I can't stand them. I love getting reactions. I hate the false accusations because like Cam said, their platform hears it and then the word just spreads and it's a game of telephone and now all of a sudden Scumge are racist, slur spewing voipers.
Right.
I mean really the last thing Cam voiped is just a big Scumge angle over its body.
It's
Like,
just like,
I was just gonna say, I think the thing is none of us are gonna deny the things that we do. Like I'm not ever gonna say that I didn't exploit before, and if they want to bring that up and be mad about that, then I get it. If you want to like still be angry about that months later, I mean, I think it's a little lame, but I do understand it. And I don't think I really care about that. It's the false accusations and it's the other things, and it's just the things that we do say and do in game. We don't deny that. It's not like we're trying to hide it.
and like
At
take
least
us at like
accuse me of the
face
truth.
value. Like take us at face value. All these people, like you said before, Luke, that like Evan will go in and be like, "Wow, you guys aren't really that bad of people." You know how many people used to absolutely hate us, and then they hung out with us once, and they're such good friends.
So
that,
many groups of we've brought groups together.
Lots of friends of us now that originally did not want anything to do with us.
and it's just,
And they just don't. A lot of people don't give us a chance. And
There's it's a double-edged sword because there's people we don't people that we don't necessarily like, or maybe we had this bad image of. Like there's a guy recently who we started playing with that, because of who he played with, we had a really bad image of him. But really, it's not a bad guy. He's actually
great guy.
good people. Like it goes both ways. Like we're not innocent of it, but like it's just extrapolated with the content creator community and the hatred towards us.
Good word,
I was gonna say it's kind of a banger.
A little bit of a big word for you, Luke. That's impressive.
Dude,
You read the dictionary before today.
yeah, got her whipped out.
I think that summarizes all the Scumge lore. I know that kind of like we did that at the start and then at the end, but
Yeah.
I think that was important to bring up.
It's kind of like you said. I think that was the big reason for this, is to kind of make people realize that we're really
just
not
playing the game. We're all literally at the end of the
good
day,
players
we're
playing
all
the
just
game.
playing the game.
Yeah.
Just because we're good and just because we play a lot every day doesn't mean that there's like other shit going on. At the end of the day, we're literally just playing the game, just like the streamers are. We just don't stream.
Every once in a while we do.
Yeah, there's
Little plug.
Tournament time. Yeah.
TV session.
You guys ever stream yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do?
Pretty infrequently, but
Very, very infrequent. For tournaments, definitely, because you have to.
Right.
we not all, plenty of us make YouTube videos. I don't make them with the intention of becoming some content creator.
Yeah.
I hit cool clips, I hit headshots, I want to clip them, and they take up a lot of space on the computer. So it combines them into a video, and it's like edit. I've never been into editing until like the last year. It's cool to see like what I can learn on my own and just see where you can watch my videos kind of in order and just see the changes in like the styles, the editing.
Right.
And it's just cool to make a YouTube video. And plenty of us do that.
A lot of us do that now, yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are jaded and will literally, I've got comments on my most recent video of like, oh, cheats at timestamp and timestamp.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Some
You
people
can't
just
have
can't be
anything.
changed.
I was like, show a
people's
clip
mindsets
in a
change.
video, and they'll be like, "You're cheating in this video. Why would you upload this?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what?
Like if I was
I want-
cheating, I would not upload this. Like
I want to say that it's like a pretty untapped market for like the high elo gameplay, like sweating.
yes,
Hunt.
we've
Like,
talked
what do
about
you
that a lot.
all you see is rock. Sorry, I didn't mean to name drop, but like these bigger streamers that like they're just like shit stomping these like random lobbies, and and it's not like very rarely do content creators upload like good fights versus other good people. I
Right.
think it's just a really big untapped market. Like, I think this.
I would love more like streams and just content of that nature.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and,
we were
like,
talking about it. Like
Yeah.
you're one of the, if not the only, like
Yeah.
super high skilled player who's not playing for the whole like solo into trios content farming with a hand crossbow and a conch bow.
Yeah.
Like there's no one playing that tournament style. Not that you have to play that every day, but that sweaty style, competitive.
I'm curious.
On a day-to-day basis.
Curious how people would act like if you guys streamed every time you played. You know what I mean?
It'd be interesting.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious. I'm sure people would still just bitch as much, but
Yeah.
you could be like, "Well,
That's
dude,
the
you just watched the stream. We didn't do anything."
That's the unfortunate thing is some people's minds just
You can't
They're
change.
already made
Yeah.
up.
they
Yeah.
don't want to believe anything else. They
Right.
don't like
They don't feel like they should have to take time out of their day to like change their mind.
Right. Yeah.
we've invited people to the Discord. We've been like, "Yo, come hang
Actually done
out.
that a couple of times, yeah.
Come watch us play a few games." Like, and then we'll end up playing like shit.
I always say when people call cheats, like, and this is probably a good reason that I should stream a little bit more. But every time someone calls cheats, I'm like, man, I wish you could just see my average game,
Right.
or I step on a kill trap, or I get like a literal human landmine with a shotgun kills me, and like I would just wish you could see that average
You
game.
don't know how many times I just die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'll upload my YouTube videos, and people are like, "You're cheating." It's like, dude, you didn't watch the 8 hours of
is-
me dying to fucking
like,
1
this is
stars.
Top, like
Really?
5% of my clips. Like
Yeah.
95% is me getting
Yeah.
shotgunned and shit on and just dying.
Pistol
Like,
before
yeah, I'm
you
gonna
lose.
upload the
crazy
top
death
percent.
montage.
Yeah.
I can make a death montage once a day. Like it's
Yeah.
I'd love to play more 6-stars like trios, because dude, solo is so boring.
It's excruciating.
Yeah, kudos to you because I could absolutely never.
I could not.
I would lose my mind.
I think that's why I don't
find the
play as
game-
much.
I find the game
Yeah.
boring right now as well. Like my last couple sessions I've been on, I have another game on the second monitor. I know, Phil, you do the same thing with RuneScape on the side.
Yeah.
I've been playing.
It's like
just-
Malouk.
I just tab out and I'm grinding balloons on the side, and then one of them is like, "Oh, team on me," and I tab in, wipe them with a power weapon because there's no reason to run anything else right now with
Right.
the current meta,
Yeah.
and then I tab back out, and it's just a fucking snooze fest. So
Yeah. I was gonna say I played with Cam, and was it insane that one day?
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, that was probably one of the most fun like days I had on Hunt in like a year.
yeah,
Just
it was
because
a good
it was
time.
like I just don't play with people who sweat,
Yeah.
and it's not like I don't not enjoy playing with people who are quote unquote trash at the game, but it's like I'm a competitive person, so it's like
yeah.
I have to like ruin other
No, I
people's
get
day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That's why I don't really enjoy people like, oh, all you do is run Mosin, and it's just like I don't want to run a fucking crossbow or a Romero all the time. Like I run shotgun sometimes, but I don't want to do that permanently. Like I don't enjoy that. I'm not gonna de-rank myself to be able to do that either. Like I like playing Mosin. I like playing against other good players with Mosin. I don't know why that's an issue.
And I think I've gotten worse at the game because I've been using worse loadouts. Like aim wise,
I can
like
understand
Oh,
that.
boy,
like
here we go.
I'm running a Kimbo of dual pistols. It's like, well, I'm not actually
Oh, no.
aiming.
Oh no, you just opened up a can of worms.
I've been on an
Duels.
Avto kick. Like
You cam a
since
Mosin right now. He's not gonna hit
Avto
shit.
kick came out, and I picked up an Avto. Like my Mosin ran out of ammo. I picked up a single fire Mosin, and I was like,
Missed all your shots.
Every bullet missed. Picked up someone else's gun. Every bullet missed. Picked up a Winnie, levered him. I said, "Yep."
Yeah.
Down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to talk about. I'm kind of out of ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we touched on a lot of important bases. We hit like high skill. We talked about ourselves. We talked about the state of the game, what we'd like to see. Talked about high elo gameplay, streamers. I don't know. I think we covered a lot of bases that were important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I honestly just want to thank you a lot for offering us your platform and giving us a time to just talk with you and get to know you. I played with you like twice, once with Eclipse and once with I think also Eclipse.
Yeah,
And
I haven't talked to
we were,
that
like-
kid in a while.
I don't think he doesn't play on
Yeah.
anymore.
Play. He
Yeah,
got a life.
Yeah,
yeah. It was,
Pour one
you
out
know,
to the homeboy.
high school's getting harder and shit
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, it was a great opportunity to get to sit down and talk with you.
Yeah.
And that was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's
And
nice
really
to have.
appreciate
I feel
it.
like we have a voice that's not
Yeah.
Biased.
our own. Or, yeah, and that's not just word of mouth.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not positive anything positive's gonna come from this, but at the end of the day,
doesn't
it's
matter.
like whatever.
We got to
Yeah.
speak our
It's just
mind.
nice to be able to talk to people. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of the times, these streamers or whoever does just like kind of says things and it spreads. If we had the chance to like talk to them,
Yeah.
one-on-one,
Yeah.
I'm sure it would
I
change a
feel
lot
like
of their
it can go
minds.
similarly, but some people just
Just
will
don't really
not
get that
let you
chance that
have a
often.
Discussion. It's all one way. It's all
Mhm.
I'm right, you're wrong, you're the bad guy.
Right.
Like
So it's just grateful that we were given the chance. So it's
Yeah.
nice to be able to talk.
Well, I had a good time.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
a fucking blast. That shit was fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed getting to go on my little rants. It's nice to
I love Pepe typing.
Pepe chatting everywhere. Oh man. Holy moly.
Awesome. Well, I mean, do you guys have like YouTubes or Twitches or anything?
we have,
Alright. Shout them out.
Yo, Kendall and Luke, because I don't stream, I don't upload. You don't know and Twitch or not Twitch.
I think I changed it the other day. Wait,
Oh no. Oh no.
Multiple
You can
Twitch
always just, like,
accounts.
link in the
Monka.
description,
Yeah, I'll just link it in the description. That's fine.
youtube.com/
That's probably easier.
insane_. Got it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Socials in the description, baby.
Awesome.